April 5, 1923. Inside the Continental Savoy Hotel in Cairo, a wealthy British aristocrat named Lord Carnarvon is burning up with a severe fever, his lungs struggling for air. At exactly 1:55 a.m., he takes his final breath. At that same second, the entire city of Cairo loses power, a complete, unexplained blackout. Thousands of miles away on his estate in England, his pet dog suddenly begins to howl, collapses, and dies. These coincidences formed the bedrock of the world's most enduring supernatural myth. Just 5 months earlier, British archaeologist Howard Carter achieved what many thought impossible. He unearthed a pristine 3,000-year-old royal tomb hidden beneath the sands of the Valley of Kings. Soon after, rumors circulated of an ominous warning found at the excavation site, promising death on swift wings to anyone disturbing the pharaoh's peace. Over the next few years, 22 people connected to the excavation met sudden, often gruesome ends. A radiologist died suddenly. A secretary's father jumped from a 7th-floor window after hearing of his son's death. The hysteria reached such a height that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, publicly validated the supernatural element. Tutankhamun, the boy inside the tomb, was a frail teenager born of royal inbreeding. He spent his short life struggling with bone disease and malaria before his successors tried to scrub his name from history. We are left to reconcile the terrifying string of deaths reported by the press with the specific spiritual goals of a king fighting back from historical oblivion. The public frenzy peaked in 1926 during the physical autopsy of the mummy. Doctors found a lesion on Tutankhamun's cheek, in the exact same location where an infected insect bite had led to Lord Carnarvon's death. But the facts tell a different story. That ancient warning about death coming on swift wings was entirely fabricated by a journalist looking for a headline. Lord Carnarvon traveled to Egypt because his lungs were already failing. A mosquito bite, aggravated by a shaving cat, introduced an infection that a pre-penicillin medical landscape simply couldn't handle. The supernatural coincidences also fall apart. Power cuts were common in 1920s Cairo, and when factoring in the time zone difference between Egypt and England, Carnarvon's dog died several hours after his owner. There is also a biological explanation for the respiratory illnesses among the crew. Archaeologists were breathing in Aspergillus niger, an ancient tomb mold that is easily treatable with modern antibiotics. The curse was a combination of ancient mold, the limitations of 1920s healthcare, and incredibly effective fake news. A 2002 medical study scientifically compared the lifespans of Westerners present at the tomb versus those who were absent. The average age of death for the cursed group was 73. That was actually higher than the standard life expectancy of the era. The ultimate outlier is the primary target of any potential curse, Howard Carter. He spent years breathing the tomb's air and was the first to handle the mummy. Carter lived for 16 more years after the discovery, frequently telling reporters that he was still very much alive. Hard data and the peaceful survival of the tomb's primary violator closed the book on the supernatural danger. Tutankhamun died at 19, plagued by bone disease, and remained in absolute obscurity for 3 millennia. In ancient Egyptian theology, a person only suffers a final death when their name is completely forgotten by the living. The sensationalist journalists writing fake tragedies accidentally fulfilled this profound spiritual prophecy. The global panic over the fabricated curse acted as a historical resurrection, transforming a once-forgotten ruler into the most famous pharaoh on the planet. By breaching the tomb, Howard Carter gifted this disabled, forgotten king exactly what his enemies tried to destroy, a name that would live forever.